For today's class, we are going to work one more time on crane and crow. I hope you remember. It was our forearm balance that is a little bit challenging. And to start with, we start in Virasana. This is the sitting posture where we take a brick with a long side and we sit in between our heels. So we put the brick with the long side in between the feet and then we sit down onto the brick. It's important that you sit on the brick and not on your heels. The feet are pointing backwards. And then you can come a little to the front with the torso and just take out the calf muscles to the sides that you have a little bit more space to sit down. And then in this position, bring the knees together as much as this is possible for you. And really lengthen up your spine, elongate everything. Look in front of you. And then close your eyes here. And feel for a moment which hand position is the right one for you. If you have your hands with the palms facing downwards, you have more connection to yourself, you have a grounding effect. If you turn the palms facing upwards, feel more open, opening the chest, being able to receive more from the universe around you. So choose whatever position is right for you this morning. And then notice how you're sitting on the brick. Notice the connection from the sitting bones to the brick. And use this as a stable basis to help you elongate your spine. So by pushing the sitting bones down, you help yourself to lift up the spine. Make sure you're not overarching the back. And then with every inhalation, elongate your spine a little bit more. You can imagine somebody is pulling you from the top of the head upwards. And then with the exhalation, let go of any tension that you might have in your body. So inhaling, elongating, exhaling, releasing tension. Make sure that you're allowing especially the shoulders to be completely released. And release your face as well. Take a moment here for yourself, keeping this elongating on the inhalation, letting go of tension on the exhalation. Release the shoulders, release the face. And then shift your awareness into your shoulder area. And notice how your shoulders are feeling now after this practice of releasing tension. Maybe there's still some tension there, and that's okay. Simply observe this for the moment. And then feel into your upper arms. And notice if you have any sensations there. For the crane and crow pose, we need a lot of strength in our arms and in the shoulders. So take a moment here to visualize that with every inhalation, you're bringing fresh breath, so fresh prana, that's just the life force in yoga, into this area, into the shoulders, into the arms. Maybe you can imagine it really like a pumping up of the arms. That with your inhalation, your arms are growing bigger, looking like if you have more muscles there. Last moments here. And then slowly bring your awareness to your hands. And imagine how you're placing them on the ground. And how your hands can be a very stable basis for you. If you're going into crane and crow, but also for whatever else you might practice where the hands are on the ground. Maybe a plank, maybe a downward facing dog. Visualize this stable basis. And then from here, take your hands into Namaskar Mudra in front of the sternum. Press the palms together. Inhale here with your exhalation. Gently bow your head down, focusing all your energy into the center of your body. And then with your next exhalation, release the hands, lift up the head again. Take out the brick and come to sitting on the back of your mat without a brick, and the legs are long in front of you. So you really go to the edge, the end of your mat. Exactly. And then we are going to go for a little morning walk, but not using our feet, but using our butt. So we are stepping forward with the right butt cheek and the left one. Right one and the left one. And keep your legs really, really long. Don't lift the legs off the ground. Very good. So you're just walking. You try to elongate the spine as much as possible. If it's a little rounded, that's okay. But keep it long. And push yourself forward, step by step, butt cheek by butt cheek. And then once you reach the top, you just walk backwards. And you can really use the arms, everything, taking it with you. Imagine you have those kind of walking sticks. So you're walking on your mat. Very good. And if you feel that you feel your thighs, that's okay. And then one more time, we walk to the front. Very good. And if you're kind of frustrated because you're not really doing much and it's still burning, that's okay as well. So one more time, all the way to the front. Very good. And of course, backwards after. Very good. And then the Germans here know all good things are three. We say this in German. So we do it a third time. So one last time to the front. Very good. Keep the legs long. Don't lift them off the ground. Very good. I don't know about you, but I feel it. And we walk backwards. Last time back. Very good. And then once you reach the end of your mat, you just push yourself a little more to the middle and you lie down for a moment. You keep the feet standing on the ground. Place the hands on the belly and allow the lower back to relax. Allow the thighs to relax. This is very challenging for our hip flexors, so now we want to allow them to relax. Take a few deep breaths here. Noticing what is going on. Very good. One last deep breath here. And then hug your knees in for a moment. And then we start making some movements here. You can massage a little bit your lower back. This might feel nice now. Very good. And then from here, swing a little bit up and down until you come to a sitting posture. Very good. From here, we go into a variation of the boat pose. So we are lifting our legs up. It's totally enough to bend the legs. If you want to take it further, you can lengthen them. But bent legs is already enough. And then with the exhalation, we roll a little bit down. On the inhalation, we come back. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, come back. Exhale down. Inhale, come back. Good. Down and back. 4 more. Good. Last time. And then hold yourself up here. Bring the chest very close to the knees. Last moments here. Hold it. Don't forget to breathe. And to smile. And then exhale. Relax to the ground. You can lengthen out the arms and the legs completely for a moment. Breathe 2-3 times deeply into your belly. And then afterwards, you stand your feet one more time back onto the ground. Allowing one more time the hip flexors to relax. Take through 2-3 more breaths here. Very good. And then from here, go one more time into swinging so that you can sit up one more time. Good. And now what we're going to do, first of all, we are rolling back. And then when we come up, we land in a boat pose. This is the first variation. And after a while, we will do the same. However, when we come to the front, we lift up the arms. And we are taking the hands with the palms facing upwards. So it's kind of you want to push something away there. Okay? Let's go into the first variation. So we are just rolling down. And then you come up into the boat. Do this in your own rhythm. Trying to land in the boat pose. If it's easy, lengthen the legs. Oui. Very good. And then next time you're coming up, take the arms above the head. Good. Very good. 3 more here. And last one. Stay. Yes. Stay here. Last moments. Don't forget to breathe. Lift the legs. Hold it. And release. Completely to the ground. If you want, lengthen one more time completely the legs, the arms, everything. Deep breath here. And then take the arms to the side. Stand the soles of the feet back onto the ground. Taking one more time, a little moment here to release everything. And then walk your feet mat distance apart. Your arms are open in a 90-degree angle. And then with your exhalation, allow the knees to fall to the right hand side. With your inhalation, the knees come back up. Exhale, go to the other side. Exactly. The head can join into the movement, going to the opposite side. But don't force it. Just allow the movement from the legs to go on, to continue in the spine until reaching the head. Very good. Twice more each side. Exactly. And then come back to the middle. Make sure you place really the lower back as much as possible onto the ground. So kind of press it into the ground by engaging a little bit the abdominal muscles. Then you're lifting up your legs, 90-degree angle. Exactly. And then from here, keeping the feet and the knees together, you go into a twist to the right with your exhalation. With the inhalation, you come back up. So you're using the strength of your upper body to lift yourself back up. Try to push as little as possible with the arms into the ground. Good. Very nice. Let's do one more each side. Very good. And then next time you go to the right, you lengthen your legs, you bend, you come back to the middle. Go to the other side. Lengthen, bending again, coming back. Good. Abdominal muscles need to work. Very good. Twice more each side. Good. Last time. Nice. And then come back to the middle. Place the feet onto the ground. Take a few deep breaths here, releasing everything. Notice all the differences that you already have now compared to the beginning of the practice. And then staying in this position, you just lift your arms into the air with the palms facing upwards. So the hands are above the shoulders. And from here we go into movement of the shoulders. With your inhalation, you're pressing the shoulders down into the ground. With your exhalation, you're pressing the hands up, lifting off the shoulders from the ground. So inhale, press them down. Exhale, lift them up. And it might be helpful to close the eyes here, to really feel into this movement and how much range of motion you have. Keep the arms long. Don't bend the elbows. Palms are facing upwards. It's like you are having something on your hands and you're pushing it up. Good. 3 more here. Last time. And then slowly release the arms. Take another deep breath here. Very good. And then the last one here on the ground. We are taking the right leg and we bring it above the left one. And then, if you can, you take your right foot and bring it one more time below the left leg. So it's kind of, like an eagle pose. Exactly. And then we take our arms and we do the opposite. So the left arm is coming above the right one. And then you're interlacing here, joining the palms together. Good. And then from here we start to make, it looks kind of like a sit-up. So with our exhalation, we come up with the torso, trying to come as close as we can with the elbows to the knees. So exhale, you come up. Very good. Maybe you can even touch the knees. Maybe not, that's okay. 2 more here. Very good. And then release for a moment. Take a deep breath. If you feel like it, lengthen your legs, lengthen your arms. This helps you to bring space again into the belly. And then we are changing the side. So this time the left leg is coming above the right one. Then you bring the left foot under the calf muscles of the right one. And then the right arm is coming above the left one. And you're interlacing so that the palms can join each other again. Very good. And then from here, with your next exhalation, you come up, bringing the elbows towards the knee. Very good. Try to look upwards, don't look down. So you kind of want to look somewhere, I would say, closer to your feet or even above your feet. 3 more here. Last one. And slowly release. Make yourself really, really long. Stretch out the legs, stretch out the arms. Take 2, 3 deep breaths here. Very good. And then from here, hug your knees in. And we come one more time into swinging up and down. And this time we swing as much that we are able to stand up completely in the end. Exactly. From here, take a break and bring it in between your thighs. Okay. And you can really use your hands to help you coming into this inwards rotation. Press the mount of the big toe into the ground. Thighs are engaged, inwardly rotated. Draw your navel in and up. Rotate your shoulders back and down. Exactly. Take the head a little backwards. Very good. Stay here. Notice the inwards rotation of the thighs. When we press the brick together, the inner thigh is working. And you need to have this sensation later on when we practice crane or crow. So the inner thigh needs to be active in this asana. So if you can, kind of save the sensation in your mind that you're having now while you're in Tadasana. How does the inner thigh feel? Try to remember that later on you can recreate this in the asana. And then for a moment, lift up your arms above the head, Urdhva Hastasana. Keep the navel drawn in. Don't overarch the lower back. But allow the shoulders to be rather relaxed. Don't lift them up too far. Yes, elbows are very, very long. Very good. Inhale with your next exhalation. Slowly sit down into Utkatasana and you bring your hands into Namaskar Mudra. In Utkatasana, draw your navel in that you're not overarching the lower back. Very good. Keep pressing the brick together. The thighs are working. Yes. Very good. Remember, Namaskar Mudra is active, so the hands are really pressing onto each other. Very good. Last moment here. Maybe sit a little further down. Yes. And then exhale. Slowly release. Take the brick out. Come to a gentle standing. No Tadasana, just very gentle, natural standing position. Close your eyes. Notice the difference. How does this feel now? What is going on in your mind? Are you concentrated or not? For an asana like crane or crow, it needs balance. Sometimes it's just the lack of concentration or focus that makes it impossible on a specific day to go into this asana. So come back to your center, coming completely back with your awareness to your body. Good. And then from here, open your eyes. We take one more time the brick in between the thighs and find a creative way to come from here into a plank. So in the plank, make sure you're really pushing the hands into the ground. Exactly. You press the thighs together onto the brick. Keep the navel drawn in. And then from here, push yourself into downward facing dog. Here as well, really concentrating on the pressing of the thighs. Still an inwards rotation in the thigh. Inhale here, exhale, come to the front, back to plank. Very good. Stay here. Inhale, exhale, one more time into downward facing dog. We do 5 more of this. With every exhalation, you move, but keep your awareness in the thighs. Good. Take your own breathing rhythm. Inhale, stillness. Exhale, movement. Good. If this is too much, you only do 3. And afterwards, you lower the knees down, going into Adho Mukha Virasana. Last one. Come to downward facing dog. One last moment here. Really press the brick together. Hands are strong on the ground. Shoulders are rotated away from the ears. Last moments here. And then exhale. Release. Take the knees down. Take the brick out. Open the knees about mat distance apart. Bring the big toes together. And release down into Adho Mukha Virasana. You decide whether you want to keep it active, pushing the hands into the ground, long arms, or you want to rest, placing your elbows onto the ground. Whatever it is, whatever position you're in, make sure to take a few really deep breaths into your belly. One last breath. And then come onto all fours, creating a neutral spine here. So drawing the navel a little bit inwards, pressing the hands into the ground. Shoulders are away from the ear. Head is an elongation of the spine. And in this position, we start to make some circles, shifting our weight first to the left, then a little to the front, to the right, and back. Notice that there shouldn't be any pain in your wrists. So if this is painful, don't go too far. Just make very, very small movements. And keep the strength in your hands and your arms. Make sure the fingers are really widespread. Yes. And then change the rotation, the way you're rotating. Good. No need to rush. You can do this slowly. Very good. And then come back to the middle. And we are turning our hands so that the fingers will point inwards. So the middle fingers will point towards each other. Make sure you're still under the shoulders, so don't take the hands too far apart from each other. You still want to be under the shoulders. Exactly. And now we are going into shifting our weight left to right. Be gentle here as well and keep the hands on the ground. Don't lift them off. If you need to lift them off, you go too far. Just warming up the wrists. Exactly. This is a sort of stretching we don't do very often, so it might be pretty intense. Don't overdo it. Exactly. And then we do exactly the opposite, turning the hands completely outwards. So the fingers are now pointing off the mat on the sides. Exactly. And one more time, we go into left-right movements here. Good. Last moments here. Very nice. And then come back to the middle. And I suggest bringing your knees a little bit closer for the next one, that you take out a little bit of the weight from the hands. Because now we are going to turn completely the hand with the fingers facing downwards, so that the fingers are pointing towards you. Exactly. And then from here, we start to simply shift our weight a little bit backwards. So you kind of want to sit down. And feel the stretch here in the lower arm. Keep the arms very, very long. And then very, very gently, this is important, don't overdo it. You can really hurt yourself otherwise. Make very small movements, shifting the weight a little forward again, and backwards. But it's small. It's like 1-2 centimeters, not more. Probably 1 centimeter is largely enough. Just gentle, slow movements here. Last moments. Stay for a moment in the backwards position. Feel the stretch. And then slowly release completely for a moment. You can just sit back on your heels And shake your hands a little bit out. This is pretty intense, so release it. Yeah, exactly. You can also rotate a little bit the hands if this feels nice for you. Okay, and then we have one last one of this to go. So we had our hands like this. Now we want to do it the other way. So we're placing the back of the hand onto the ground. Fingers facing towards you. Palm is facing upwards. And from here, you start to sit backwards. If this is too much for you, you can do this sitting, just like a turned around Namaskar Mudra. This works as well if you don't want to put all the weight of your body. But if it's okay on the ground, do it on the ground and slowly bring the weight a little backwards. Stay there. Don't overdo it. Last moments here. And then slowly release. And one more time, go into rotation of the wrists. Maybe shake it a little bit. Release everything. Very intense. Whatever feels good for you. Very good. Okay. When we place our hands onto the ground, one problem why we get pain in the wrists is if the fingers are not working properly. So now we are going to make our fingers work. So for this, we come back onto all fours. Maybe I showed on the brick before that you see what I mean. So we are having our hand completely on the ground. And then we are just pushing ourselves up to come onto the top of the fingers. If this is not possible for you because it's painful or maybe simply it doesn't happen, this is possible as well. You don't do it on the ground, but you find a door or a wall or whatever, and you do it on the wall. So you're standing and you're pushing yourself away from the wall. And the further you walk away from the wall, the more difficult it will be. So I can show you just here. If I'm doing it here, very easy. But if I'm going pretty far away from the wall, then it will become more difficult. But it's still easier than doing it on the ground. So try to do it on the ground. And if you see after the first 2 times or so, it's not really right for you, just go find a wall, find a door, find whatever you can use. Okay, so we are on the ground on all fours, and then only with the strength in your hands, you're pushing yourself up onto your fingers. Coming back down, pushing yourself up onto the fingers. Exactly. Good. Very good. Very nice. Keep the hands under the shoulders for this. 5 more. It's challenging. Good. One last one. Stay in the up position. Hold here. Feel the engagement you have in the fingers, in the lower arms. Last moments here. And then release down, sit back, and one last time. Release. It's nice now to do a little bit of opening and closing of the hands to release the fingers. Okay. Good. Very good. Okay. Come one more time back onto all fours. Spread your fingers really wide. And now when you have the hands on the ground, notice the engagement of your fingers. So instead of just placing the hands super lazy onto the ground, you try to engage a little bit the fingers at the same time. So it's kind of a little bit of grabbing, as though you want to grab the ground. And notice for a moment the difference. Do you feel maybe more stable? Does it feel more challenging? What is happening if you're doing this? And then keeping this grabbing of the ground, tuck the toes. And now lift the knees off the ground 1 centimeter. Really pressing the hands into the ground, but at the same time grabbing the ground. Hold here. Don't forget to breathe. And then slowly exhale, release. We are going in a second time. Press the hands into the ground, grab the ground. With your exhalation, lift the knees off the ground. Exactly. Navel is drawn in. Last moments here. Exhale down. One last time. Push the hands into the ground. Grab the ground with the fingers. Exhale, lift the knees off the ground. Good. Stay here, breathe here. And then exhale, release down, join the big toes together. Sit back, Adho Mukha Virasana, and feel free to move your hands here to do whatever feels right for you now after this practice. Take a few deep breaths here, releasing all the tension that you might have accumulated now in the arms and the hands. Very good. And then come back onto all fours. Let's just release everything a little bit with a twist. So we are taking our right arm with the inhalation. We are opening to the side. Exhale, thread the needle. Bring the right shoulder to the ground. Keep the hips in the middle. And if you want, you can take then the left arm onto your back, rotating the left shoulder backwards. Stay there. Good. Head is totally relaxed on the ground. Notice the opening now of the left shoulder. Stay here. And then slowly bring the left hand back to the ground. Inhale with your exhalation. Push yourself up one more time. Lift the right arm high into the air. Open to the sky. And only then you bring the right hand back to the ground. And then let's change to the other side. With your inhalation, left arm is coming up. You're opening to the left. And exhale, thread the needle, come all the way to the ground. Left hand is facing upwards. And then you can take the right arm behind you, rotating the right shoulder really backwards. Good. Stay there, hold here. Very nice. Last moment. And then slowly exhale, hands back to the ground, or right hand back to the ground. Inhale, exhale, open one more time to the left. And then come all the way back down to the ground. Tuck your toes, open the knees a little bit. And we are going to transition from this position into Malasana. A transition we've never done. So you just walk backwards with your hands and then whoop, you push yourself back, you come to Malasana. Yes, very good. So in Malasana, if it's challenging for you, turn the toes outwards, then it's getting a little easier. If it's very easy for you, make sure the toes are pointing forward. Hands into Namaskar Mudra. If you can, you bring the thumbs towards the sternum. Exactly. For a moment, really focus on lengthening the back here. Yes, very nice. You can close your eyes here. feel this position, feel the opening. And in case you don't remember crane or crow, you're almost there. This is already very similar to crane or crow, with the difference that now we have the feet on the ground, and in crane or crow, it's the hands. Last moments here. And then for a moment, release the hands. Walk your hands a little further forward. And now you take the arms to the sides and you grab your ankles. Exactly. And then from here, you try to lengthen the spine even more. So this is kind of a pushing from the arms onto the knees. Yes, good. Very nice. This is the actual Malasana, where you grab the heels. The one with Namaskar Mudra is just a variation. Hold here, last moment. Very nice. And then from here, just sit back onto your butt, lengthen out your legs for a moment. And then take the feet into Baddha Konasana, so taking the feet together. And you decide if it's okay for you to sit like this. If you can be upright, that's good. If not, just take a pillow and sit onto your pillow. Whichever position you're in, with or without a pillow, you can grab either your feet or maybe your big toes or the lower leg. Just take something that can help you to elongate the spine. Make yourself really, really long. You allow the knees to relax. And then from here, we come into a forward fold. So we inhale, and with our exhalation, with a long spine, you start to bend forward. If you feel it's more comfortable, just take your hands to the front, elongate them in front. But if it's easier for you to keep the hands on the feet or on the legs, do so. And then here, release your head for a moment, close your eyes. Feel the opening of the legs. Making sure you're really allowing the knees to fall. You're not holding them. Last moments here. Allow the legs to be heavy. Take 3 more deep breaths here. And then very slowly, you start to walk backwards. First of all, lengthening your spine and coming back. Taking your hands to close the legs, maybe shake them out a little for a moment to release everything. Good. And then let's try from here to come into crane and crow. I recommend working with bricks, and maybe take as well a pillow in front of you in case you're afraid of falling onto the head. Then you have something where you can just place the head on. And first of all, we are standing our feet onto the bricks. And in case you don't remember what is crane or crow, for the moment we're not focusing on one of them. It can be a mix of both of them. The crow is the one with the arms bent. The crane would be with long arms. Probably today it will be somewhere in between, and that's totally fine. So you're doing a malasana on your bricks. And then from here, you're making sure that you really reach far forward with your arms. If you want, have a look first and then do it. So you want to have here the arm, really the upper arm touching the knee. It's not on the lower arm. So very high up here. And then you place the hands onto the ground. You can rotate a little bit the fingers inwards. This makes it a little bit easier. And then from here, first of all, we are going onto our toes. So you kind of tiptoe on the brick and you just start to lean a little forward and backwards. So you're just leaning a little bit and coming backwards. Just feeling what is happening when you put the weight forward and you come backwards. And if you feel this is okay, then stay for a moment forward and focus on your hands. So push the hands into the ground, but grab the ground with your fingers, what we practiced before. Good. And then you come back, you do this like 2-3 times more. Coming forward, grabbing really the ground. Very good. And then next time you're doing this, once you're forward, you just lift off one of the legs from the support. Then you come back, come to the front, lift off the other one. If you feel it's easy, you don't come completely back, but you stay in front and you just lift one leg after the other off the ground. Okay? Good. Looks good. Very good. Do this twice more and then release for a moment. You can just shake everything out again. Very good. If you need to release the legs, do so. Maybe come into a down dog just for a short moment to lengthen the legs again. Just releasing the legs. Exactly. And then from here, let's try to get into the full asana. I hope you were not as clever as me because I used coconut oil this morning, so I'm very slippery on my skin. So we are coming back into our malasana. We are bringing the hands as far as we can in front of us, but then make sure now that you're not placing the hands here because the way would be way too far ahead, but you're bringing the hands rather close to you. So it's not here, the shoulders stay there, but you take the hands closer again. Exactly. And then you come one more time onto your toes. You shift your weight forward. You grab really the ground. And then you start to lift on one leg and then the other, trying to join the big toes together. And with coconut oil, it's really slippery. Yes. Good. And it doesn't matter at the moment where exactly your knees are. Very good. Try this a few times. And when you come up, and it's rather easy, try to come up with both feet at the same time. Look to the ground in front of you, join the big toes. Very good. Yes. Yeah. Anya got it. And once you got it, try to stay. Very good. If you need to release your hands in between, just shake them out a little bit. No worries. Very good. Okay. Let's try it 2 last times. Really, first of all, shifting the weight forward, taking one leg after the other, and then joining the toes. Yeah. Good. Yeah, very good. And then once you feel like, whew, that's challenging, I'm done for the moment, just sit back, lie down for a moment with the arms open to the side. And allow everything to relax here. Especially the shoulders should be released towards the ground now. Very good. Take a few deep breaths. And then from here, hug your knees in one more time. And this time we start to swing up and down again. And we want to transition one more time to directly into Malasana. So when you swing, you come to the front, up, you're in Malasana. Yes. Good. Okay, let's try this again, huh? You go back, come to the front, into Malasana. Yeah. Twice more. Go back, come to the front, come to Malasana. Last time. Go back to the front, Malasana. Very good. Okay, from here, we are going to release our legs down. So you just release them down to the side. Exactly. And then using the strength of the upper body, you're coming back to Malasana. And you go to the other side. Come up and allow the knees to fall. If it's challenging, take the legs further apart. So if the feet are very close together, it will be super, super hard. Good. And then from here, go more into a twist. So you allow the legs to fall and then you really twist backwards. Yes, good. And then you come back to the middle. Go to the other side. Completely twist here. Exactly. Come to the middle and go and twist. Very good. Yes. Good. Be happy that you're not pregnant. The other day we had a pregnant woman in class who tried to do this. It's not easy. Okay, one last time to each side. Good. Very good. Come back to the middle. Stay in Malasana for another moment. You can close your eyes here. And then from here, we will go one more time into crane or crow. It might feel very different for you to not start from the bricks. Sometimes it's actually easier to not be on the bricks, because on the bricks, we might be afraid to fall. So from here, if you need, bring maybe the feet a little closer together. It's easier if you start with the heel already lifted off. And then you bring your arms one more time in front of you. You make sure that the upper arm is touching the knee. You bring the hands onto the ground, fingers are pointing a little bit inwards. You shift your weight forward. Now you really need to lift up the butt. Exactly. And then from here, you start getting into the pose. Keep the fingers strong. Bring the big toes to touch. If you can't bring the big toes to touch, that's totally fine. Yes. Good. Very good. I'm very happy you're all trying. Last moments here. Just play around. Just try. Whatever is happening is happening. Maybe it's working, maybe not. Very good. And then from here, take the hands to the front of the mat, feet in the back, come into a plank, and from here, go into down dog. And now move around freely in your downward facing dog. You can walk your dog, you can move your hips, whatever feels good for you right now. Just releasing everything now after the practice. Well, not really after the practice, we're still in the practice, but after the challenging pose. Very good. Last moments here. And then for a moment, come to stillness and downward facing dog and really reach the heels towards the ground. So pressing the heels a little more towards the ground than you do this usually, to stretch out now the back of the leg. There you go. And then exhale, release the knees down. Keep the toes tucked. And for a moment, slowly start to sit back onto your heels. Maybe you want to keep a little bit the weight in front. Maybe it's okay to sit all the way back. See what is right for you. And then take the hands behind the back. Rotate the shoulders back and down. And open the chest here. Pulling yourself using your hands a little bit further backwards and downwards in the shoulders. Exactly. So now we're going to open a little bit the chest after being a little bit closed up maybe during the practice of crane and crawl. If it's too much for the feet, start to lean forward. Very good. And then release for a moment. Change the interlacing of the hands. So interlace the other way. And then rotate it one more time back and down the shoulders. Pull yourself backwards. If it's too much for the feet, lean forward. If it's really too much, you bring the feet completely to the ground. Find whatever is right for you. Last moments here. Keep on breathing. Bring the shoulders together. And then slowly release. Bring the hands to the ground. Lengthen the feet onto the ground. Sit back onto your feet for a moment to really lengthening them again. You can allow the hands to rest on the thighs. Close your eyes here. Take a moment to feel, especially now, into your shoulders, the upper arms. And maybe you have noticed that when we were doing this, your attention was maybe shifting a little more to the feet than to the shoulders. When we're doing something that is intense for one part of the body, just shifting the awareness to something else will make the sensations maybe not go completely away, but they will be lighter. Very good. And then from here, come onto lying onto your belly. Very good. And then take your right leg a little up, pull it back, bring the foot back down, pressing the pinky toe into the ground. Left leg the same. You lift the left leg off the ground, you pull it backwards, bringing it back to the ground. So both legs should be engaged now because you're pressing the feet into the ground. Thighs are engaged, the knees are most likely not on the ground anymore. Bring your hands under the shoulders, rotate the shoulders back and down, elbows very close to the body. With your exhalation, lift up into a baby cobra. Just lifting the torso, looking a little bit in front of you. Stay here, lift the hands off from the mat for a moment. Very good. And exhale, slowly release down. Take 2 breaths in between here. And then one more time, go into the engagement of the legs, pressing the feet into the ground. Engage as well a little bit the abdominal muscles. And then this time we take the arms to the sides of the body, playing hitchhiker. So you're turning the palms outwards and the thumbs are facing upwards. Good. Inhale here. With your exhalation, lift the torso off. Inhale, you gently come back down. With your exhalation, you're lifting off. Very good. Continue doing this. Very good. Exactly. 3 more here. Very good. And then release towards the ground. You can wiggle your hips a little bit from side to side for a moment. Maybe make a little pillow with your hands for the head. Taking a few deep breaths there. Very nice. And then we go into one last variation, but we need to go twice because we interlace our hands, so we need to make it both ways. So same preparation for the legs. Lift one leg after the other up, pull it back, press the pinky toe into the ground. Then take the hands behind your back, interlace them there, rotate the shoulders back and down, and then you're lifting yourself off with your exhalation and really use your hands now to kind of pull you a little higher and backwards at the same time. You can imagine your chest wants to come further to the front. Keep the navel drawn in a little bit. The butt is not squeezed here. If you squeeze the butt, then you cannot engage the legs properly and you're shortening the lower back. Stay here, last moment. Exhale, release for a moment. 1 breath in between. And then change the interlacing of the hands. Exactly. And then one more time, prepare your legs. Push the pinky toes into the ground. Rotate the shoulders back and down. And with your exhalation, you come up into the back bend. Opening the chest. Imagining the chest wants to reach further forward. And at the same time, the shoulders want to come further backwards. Stay here. Engage the thighs. Engage the abdominal muscles. Last moments. Good. Don't forget to smile. And exhale. Release completely down. Make a little pillow with your hands for your head. And then either wiggle your hips a little bit or maybe bend the legs and allow them to fall a little bit from side to side. Releasing tension from our back. Very good. And then from here, you just turn around to lying on the back, but take your bricks with you. If you have proper bricks, then what you're going to do is you go into a restorative asana with the 2 bricks. So the thing we are setting the bricks up is one is long like this, the other one is standing. So it's kind of one standing there and one sitting. So the lower one, we call it a sitting brick. And the sitting brick will come in between your shoulder blades. So the sitting brick will start more or less for the women where the bra sits, and then will be in between your shoulder blades, and the other one is for the head. I'll show you, if you don't have bricks in a moment, what else you can do. But for those who have bricks of you lie down, you find your position where you need to position the sitting brick. Before you go down, you lift up the pelvis, you rotate the pelvis so that the lower back is really, really long. And then you take the other brick for the head. You open the arms to the side. You elongate your legs, flexing the feet up together. So you have a little bit of engagement in the legs, but the upper body is relaxed. And you start here. And if you want to take it a little further, you can interlace the arms above the head. But if this is too much, keep it on the side. And to come out of this later, you just stand up your feet and you roll off the bricks. Okay. So go into this if you have proper bricks. If you don't have bricks, you just have books. You take a book and you lie on the book. However, you lie with the long sides, like being the same as your back. And you lie there, making sure that when you place the head onto the ground, you're comfortable and you have a long neck. So maybe you need to either place something under your neck, or you need to make sure that before going down, you draw your chin towards your chest to elongate the neck, not the leg. And then same thing here, you lengthen out your legs and you take your arms 90 degrees to the side. So it's also on your shoulders, but it will be a little less intense than the version with the brick. In any way, lengthen your legs, flex the feet. Flex, not point. Yes, exactly. And then close your eyes there. Feel the opening now. We will stay here for a bit, so make sure that you're really comfortable in this asana. If something is not right, get out and go in one more time. And of course, if at any point you feel that it's too much, you just roll off from your bricks or from your book, and you stay lying on the side for a moment. If you want, and you haven't done so yet, you can lift the arms above the head, grabbing your elbows with your hands. This will bring a little more elongation to the front of the body. And then in case you have your hands and elbows interlaced, change the interlacing. If it's too much with the arms above the head, take them back down to the sides. Last moments here. Release the interlacing of the hands and elbows and take the arms back to the side. Notice the difference It's not necessarily less intense, it's just a different sensation to have the arms on the sides. Then from here, start by standing your feet back up onto the ground. Inhale with your exhalation, roll down to the right hand side, rolling off from the bricks, and stay for a moment on the side, allowing the spine to come back to its natural position. If you feel like you need to round a little bit the upper back, that's totally fine, then do so. Allow the belly to be really, really heavy. And then adjust your legs so that you bring the legs into a 90-90 degree angle. The knees and the feet are on top of each other. And then you take your left arm and you open it to the other side, coming into a twist here. If the arm or the shoulder is not reaching the ground, that's totally fine. Keep, however, the knees and the feet together. Don't let them slide apart. So you need to be kind of active to keep it together. Exactly. You can take the head with you, looking to the other side if this feels nice, but if it's too much, don't do it. Keep on breathing here. Now we are making sure that we are really twisting in the upper part of our spine. Last moments. And then slowly exhale. Roll all the way over to the other side. Stay a moment on the side, allowing the belly to release towards the ground. And then from here, bring the knees and feet one more time on top of each other. Legs are in a 90-degree angle. And then you open the the right arm to the other side, keeping the knees together, the knees and the feet together. If you want, turn the head as well. Stay here, feeling this active twist. Notice where you have the sensation of the twist. Where do you feel it? Is it more on the side of the trunk? Can be in the belly, it can be more in the butt as well. Or is it in the back? Simply observe it. Very good. And then slowly, next exhalation, roll back to the middle, lie on your back, stand your feet on the ground for a moment. And you decide what is right for you now. Maybe just stand the feet here in stillness. Or if it feels nice for you, you can one more time take the knees a little bit from side to side, but don't go all the way down to the ground. It's really about releasing. So we just want to bring a little bit of movement to allow the lower back to release. No need to feel any big stretch or anything here. All right. And then from here, prepare yourself to go into your Shavasana. If you need anything, place maybe a cushion or the bricks under the knees. Or maybe you want to bring the legs onto a chair or something. Whatever it is, find something that feels nice for you. And then for Shavasana, make sure that you're really comfortable so that you don't need to move during your Shavasana. Settle here and allow the whole body to surrender into the relaxation. Slowly bring your awareness back into your body and start moving your fingers and your toes. Then allow the movement to grow bigger and bigger. If you feel like it, stretch the arms out above the head. Then stand one foot after the other onto the ground. And over the right hand side, come back up to a sitting posture. Sitting on your heels or on a brick or on a pillow. Make sure you're elongating your spine. And take a short moment here to assess how your body is feeling now after the practice. It was quite intense for the hands, the arms, the shoulders, and probably also for your abdominal muscles. So notice how all these body parts are feeling now. And then with your next exhalation, take your hands to Namaskar Mudra in front of the sternum. Inhale here and slowly exhale. Bow your head down, joining your mind to your heart. Namaste. Thank you so much.